What is up, guys? Welcome back to the House Brewing Company YouTube channel. We're out in Yakima, Washington as part of this year's Hop Harvest and Selection. And right now, we're having the pleasure of touring Homebrew Heaven. All right, so if you guys are new here, or if you're familiar with the channel, we've made a couple of homebrew videos in the past, and we've talked about our past where we started first in the Coleman bucket and then commercially on the Brew Magic 10-gallon RIMS homebrew system. This is a whole nother level altogether, and we're making a quick video to show this to you guys because as a passionate brewer myself, and for you guys watching, you couldn't possibly imagine having a more epic small batch brewing system than this guy. It's an Esau Huber setup. I think I'm saying that correctly. Functionally, it's not particularly different from the homebrew setups that you have. It does the same thing, mixes water with grain, extracts wort, enables you to boil wort, enables you to add your hops, cool your wort, ferment, etc. But it just enables you to do it very professionally. There's a proper PLC system, just like the big brewery in Charlton. We have a video that tours Treehouse that brings you through our entire setup. It's very, very similar to this guy on just a bigger scale. But to see it so small like this is crazy. Right here we've got a mash mixer, the little agitator. It looks like a small version of precisely what we have in Charlton. CIP spray ball right here, agitator. You've got temperature control probes right here. All the data that you need to make a super, super refined beer can be had right in this system. He's got grain in, so their grain's getting conveyed somewhere through the ceiling. I'm not entirely sure where, but that's pretty sweet. Wherever they're milling grain and pushing grain is coming through the ceiling, super clean. No one's dumping any bags, life is good. All your wort is being conveyed through a system of hard pipes, so no oxygen ingress, no UV light ingress. Everything's controlled with the PLC and pumps making its way through the brewery. Oh, wow, okay, so they have, this is crazy, they have a mash mixer, and then they actually have a standalone water tun. So you got your rakes in here, which is weird. I've never seen a water tun that's so tall and so thin, but clearly this is the function of what this is. So again, to have a 5 hectoliter system that has so much precision and so much professionalism to it, if you guys aren't getting jazzed about watching this at home, you're probably not that passionate about brewing because this is one of the coolest homebrew setups I've ever seen. Last but not least, we have our wort kettle. Pretty straightforward. Looks like there's kind of a recirculation calandria going on here. Probably a foam sensor, so you don't have any boil over issues. When foam reaches the top of the tank, this sensor senses it, shuts off the steam, stops the boil, keeps things super safe. Then last but not least, we have a proper larger than life-size whirlpool, which is so cool. It's like messing me up because it looks like a train set version of the Treehouse Brewery. And then the last thing I want to point out to you guys as we make our way around is these are hop dosing buckets, which is way overkill on a system like this. You can literally just open the manway and dump your hops in. But in terms of automation and precision, these guys have everything you need to make a small batch beer on a commercial, setup. All right, so a couple more things really quick before we show you guys the fermentation cellar. Just the nuts and bolts of the brewery. Again, way overkill on a small scale. Super impressive, super invigorating. Classic hot and cold liquor tank. Simple. You got cold water in one, hot water in one. You got a blending skid. You can get any temperature water you want delivered directly to the brew house. You have a full-scale CIP system, which again, if you've ever brewed on a small scale, scrubbing by hand, cleaning by hand, this guy is set it and forget it, which is awesome. They've got a small electric boiler, and then over in the corner, just your standard utilities, water softeners and things like that to feed the boiler and to feed the brewing liquor. Of course, you have the argolith tile floor, which if you don't have this in your homebrew garage, what are you even doing with your life? Because this is what it should all look like. We could only be so lucky. All right, so again, if you've watched the Treehouse tour series, which I encourage you to do before watching this video, or maybe pause it and jump over, We tore our brew house, we tore our cellar, we tore our packaging line. And this portion of the Haas Innovation Center is essentially the downstream stuff from the brew house. So you have all these fermentation vessels, all this hard piping, and then you even have a little packaging corner over here, which I'm just seeing now for the first time, which is melting my brain. They've actually got what appears to be single bottle filler. Whoa, that is super cool. Of course, over here, they have a tiny little packaging line. It's just all the stuff we at home dream about having, but we probably will never have because price is no option. You'd have all this stuff. This is so cool to just have the ability to make a hyper small batch of beer for which you can control all the variables, keep the oxygen levels incredibly low, and package a commercially based product on such a small scale. This is so neat. Over here, they've got these fermentation skids. Everything ties into the PLC, so you have temperature feedback. You probably even have pH feedback on your active fermentations punching into these tanks. You've got the Perlix sample valves. All this stuff is hard piped. This is just such a beautiful and elegant system that I kind of want one. I'm gonna ask Santa to install one of these at Treehouse and see what happens. This was a real quick bonus bit of footage. Our deepest and sincerest thanks to the folks at Haas enabling us to come in here, take a look around, and show you guys around really quick. We are in their debt. We appreciate it greatly. We want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.